Welcome back to PyBatch YouTube, and today I want to do a video of the default dict special type dictionary of the collections module. It's a subclass of a regular dict, but the advantage is that you can give it a default factory. And to explain this better, let's just start with a practical example. So here I import default dict and I have a multi-line string of data which contains, it's kind of a CSV file embedded of name, comma, country, code. And let's first parse that a little bit. So I would do for line in data split lines, although I do want to strip off the leading and trailing new line, and I don't want to check the if, I just want to split it into name and country for each line. Right, so I'm getting the name and the country code, and now I want to build up a dictionary of countries and the people that are in those countries. So I can do countries, default dict, but let's not start with default dict yet. Let's just do a regular dictionary and see what problem we might encounter. So again, we're going to store the country as the value. And append the name to the country, right? So ideally it would work like this, because that's pretty elegant. However, this is not going to work. I get a key error ID, right? Because the first time we hit ID and we want to append a value to the dictionary, that key has not been created. So you would have to, normally would have to do something like this. If the country is not in countries, then first start with, then add the country to the dictionary, initializing it to an empty list, and then we can safely append to the list because now country is a key in the dictionary. And again, and of course it's not in. And that works, but it's not printing anything. And then I get this. Let's actually see if that's correct. So ID is Tim and Fina. PR is Sarah. CN is Telma, Roberto and Paul. RU is Chris. And SE is Juliana, yeah, and PL is Mario. Mario, yeah. All right, cool. And we actually can do a little assert here that as we're refactoring, that this outcome is going to stay the same. So if I now run it, I don't see anything anymore because I'm printing, but it's not going to raise an assert error because the output is correct, or the result is correct. Okay, so this is kind of clumsy, and that's where default dict comes in. I first want to show you another method you can also use, and that's countries set default, and then do the append. That kind of does the same as default dict, as we'll see shortly. It checks if the country is in the dictionary. If not, it adds the key and adds a value of an empty list, and then with that in place we can safely append. So that should work, like that assert is still true. But this is a little bit less readable, and having default dict in the standard library, this to me is the preferred way of doing it. So then we can just do country append name. So even if the country key is not in the dictionary, the inner mechanics, so again going back to the factory method, so the factory method here is list, which means every time when you insert a new key into the dictionary, automatically the value is set to an empty list, and then you can do the append safely. It won't raise a key error, and that still works, right? So we've visited 3 ways. checking overly if the key is in the dictionary, not the best Pythonic way. Using setDefault as a method on the dictionary, a little bit better, but still also not 100% most readable. Here, for this type of situation, Defaultdict is your best friend. And I think that's it. You can also use it with int, with float, with set. So for example, if we would have duplicate items and we would do a list. So now you end up with 2 Marios for PL, which I think is Poland. Then maybe you want to set and deduplicate those values, right? And that's then also possible. Of course, then append doesn't work because append is for lists and add is for sets. And then we have a single Mario and probably also a single Paul instead of duplicated Paul here. Do notice that the order now is not maintained. So here the order was of insert and a set kind of mixes it up, but the advantage here is that I get unique values. To further learn how to remove duplicates from a list, see this video. And that's it for today. I hope this is helpful. Hope it explains Defaultdict well. And yeah, check out the collections module. Maybe we have more videos on collections. Yeah, this is a good one on collections as well. So I will link that here. And with that said, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.